Yeah, wait. Was there any sign of Kazuya in the third one then? Where was Kazuya at in the third one? He threw... Oh, Kazuya was, he was chilling at the headquarters. Right? Shit, I forgot. There's so much going on. Okay. Tekken 4, here we go.
I personally love Tekken 4. I know it's the black sheep on a competitive level, but in terms of atmosphere and music and overall presentation, I always thought this game was amazing. It was the first entry to start having prologues before a character's story, and that saves me a world of research. Everything I told you about Tekkens 1 through 3 required me reading instruction manuals, strategy guides, and the wiki.
Dang.
Lots of research to do, whereas now, we've got definitive storytelling.
Heck yeah.
Thank God. So 2 years have passed since the defeat of Ogre. Jin Kazama has been hiding in Brisbane, Australia, where he's been unlearning Heihachi's teachings. Because Jin now loathes the Mishima bloodline and everything associated with it. Heihachi has been searching for him this whole entire time. You see, even though the Zaibatsu recovered Ogre's body, he can't actually use its power without one key ingredient. The Devil Gene. Without his grandson, there's just nothing he can do. But one day, the Zaibatsu brings him brand new information about G Corporation, a biotech firm that deals in genetic research. It turns out that
so like... Kazuya and Jin are probably like descendants from Ogre. Hold up, dang. They got Ogre blood in them? Shoot. Wait
after
a
the
second.
King of Iron Fist Tournament 2, they recovered Kazuya's body from the volcano. How did they know to find him in there? Was Heihachi just bragging to everyone he knew?
Oh, that's... He was in the freaking volcano, dude. Jesus Christ. Sorry, y'all. It's I know it's morning for you guys, but technically it's morning for me too. But yeah, it's about 3 a.m. So I'm like kind of tired, ready to go to bed. But you know, I'm trying to get this done for you guys. So it's just all right. Let's go.
Like, yeah, I threw my bitch-ass son in there. It was awesome. But if the company has Kazuya's body, that means Heihachi can steal it and get the Devil Gene.
Okay.
So he sends in the Tekken Force, the Zaibatsu's military squad, to ransack the G Corporation building.
Okay.
They bust in, dispose of the scientists, steal all kinds of data like it's nothing. Until they don't. Because all of a sudden, one man single-handedly kicks their ass.
Dang.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Mad science rears its ugly head again because the G Corporation actually brought this fucker back from the dead. Not only that, but they also performed various experiments on Kazuya over the years, helping him discover a way to unify the Devil Gene. To eliminate the other persona...
I gotta go. Who's G Corporation?
Data Liberation Bill Tekken Force. That means bitch-ass son 2... that deals with the Zaibatsu brings him brand new information about G Corporation, a biotech firm that deals in genetic research. It turns out that after the King of Iron Fist Tournament 2, they recovered Kazuya's body from the volcano.
Oh, okay, so they're just a corporation, I see. Okay.
Batman. My justice.
Bad day for Heihachi, but this presents an opportunity. Heihachi announces the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4, and instead of just getting a trophy, the winner will gain control of the Mishima Zaibatsu itself. Ah, damn! Kazuya definitely recognizes this for the trap that it is. Ah, damn! Kazuya definitely recognizes this for the trap that it is, but gladly participates anyway. And Jin, upon hearing of both the tournament and his father's trophy, the winner will gain control of the Mishima Zaibatsu itself.
Oh, what?
Damn.
Okay.
Kazuya definitely recognizes this for the trap that it is, but gladly participates anyway. And Jin, upon hearing of both the tournament and his father's survival, also rushes in to eliminate his family for good. certainly no love lost for his evil father. But yeah, Tekken 4's got a lot going on in this story, with only 3 of the characters being new. Instead of having Eddie Gordo, we have Christy Montero. She is the granddaughter of the capoeira master who taught Eddie how to fight.
Oh,
After
nice.
Iron Fist 3, Eddie passed this knowledge on to her, making her gameplay damn near identical. When Eddie leaves to confront his father's killer, she chases after by entering the tournament. And then there's Craig Marduk, a Valetudo cage fighter. This guy was on top of the mixed martial arts world.
Put the camera on me. No one can stop me. No one.
But then one day he got caught in some kind of scandal, and with public shame comes bitterness and resentment.
Ooh.
Marduk is an angry motherfucker. He
God
takes what he
dang.
wants, and no one will deny him.
Oh yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. You need to get with me, girl.
I am not into Neanderthals.
God.
I always get what I want.
Hey, wait a minute.
I'm sure he'll wait for Anna to wake up and politely ask again for consent.
Right?
His attitude boils over
Shoot.
one day at the bar when he picks a fight with someone and murders them.
Dang.
This gets him sent to prison. He'd be serving a much longer sentence if not for some mysterious benefactor. One who manages to pay off the judiciaries and invites Marduk to Iron Fist 4.
Of course.
Who is this benefactor?
Hey,
It's King.
King-
For you see,
Oh.
the man that Marduk murdered was actually Armor King. Yes! Armor King is dead and his apprentice wants revenge. He enters the tournament hell-bent on destroying his master's killer. Steve Fox is a young British boxer with a weird
Dang.
scar on his arm.
Though, bro, these character stories are pretty deep. Okay, wait. So there's been one new king. Okay, no, there's been 2 kings. One died. Then there was the new one that Armor King raised, pretty much. And then this guy Murdoch just killed Armor King. And then we got the new king bailed Murdoch out so he could. Bro, what?
He was
Bro.
adopted as a kid and doesn't remember his childhood. One day, he refused to throw a fight for a mafia group known as the Syndicate. He flee
What happened to Lee? Did he get kicked out of the Zaibatsu? I think
flees
so.
to America, but eventually grows frustrated from all the subterfuge. Rather than live his life in fear, he chooses to join Iron Fist 4.
Nice.
Naturally, that puts him in the spotlight, and so the Syndicate hires an assassin to murder the man at the tournament. That assassin being Nina Williams,
Nina.
who still hasn't regained her memory.
Okay.
But you'll have to watch out for Lei Wulan, whose new case involves bringing down the Syndicate. Li Chaolan's evolution has always been
Oh, here we go.
fascinating to me. See, this guy was kicked out of the Zaibatsu for siding with Kazuya, a guy he really doesn't like. And at first, he was kind of bitter about that, but then Lee decides to turn his life around. He adopts a new persona, becoming Violet, the CEO of Violet Systems. This company creates robots, from housekeepers to fighting machines. Lee believes them to be the future. And this move pays off because the guy ends up as a playboy billionaire living in a mansion in the Bahamas.
Hey.
I gotta imagine the thing that attracts all the ladies is his gigantic cock. Holy moly, even John Holmes would be jealous of this guy.
Oh my
Swear to
God, bro.
I didn't edit that image.
That is crazy.
real.
Wait a
But
minute.
I love the changing of expectations
Oh
here.
my
See, you'd
God.
expect him to be a rich
That is so
fuckboy.
foul, bro. Yo, who were the artists for that image? That's crazy. Okay.
The dickhead
What the
rival
frick,
Heihachi
dude?
always wanted him to be. But instead, Lee is really chill. He's always siding with the good guys. He's always being courteous and lovely. The guy has a catchphrase now.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Batman, Green Lantern, The Flash, Superman. Your friends are slaughtering the people.
Why don't you say Wonder
you
Woman,
want to
bruh?
protect.
Wonder Woman's in that group too.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Anyway, he enters the tournament to help demonstrate the capabilities of
Excellent.
Combat, a machine he designed that can copy any fighting style.
Combat.
This thing is a playable character and operates exactly like Mokujin did. Paul
Oh,
Phoenix
okay.
did defeat Ogre, but since he left before its final form, he was not recognized as the winner of the last tournament.
It's a
Paul
shame.
becomes bitter, despondent, and even
Ah.
hated as his fans get tired of his whining. The dude's dojo
Aw.
goes under and he's basically living in the streets.
Dang.
He enters the tournament to once again prove the critics wrong.
For real.
And his buddy Martial Law isn't doing much better as the guy's restaurant goes bankrupt competing with another restaurant chain. And this basically becomes the guy's constant struggle. Every single tournament from this point onwards, Law is always desperately competing for cash. And that's all I have to say. Kuma was
Dang,
not
that's
happy
it?
about losing to Paul Phoenix.
What?
So
That's
he
it
figured
for
to get
Law,
his animal
bro?
instinct back, he needed to leave the cushy comfort of the Zaibatsu and return to the wilderness.
Oh my
And out
gosh.
there, he gets that edge a bear like him is supposed to have.
Mhm.
Brian Fury loves being a cyborg, but unfortunately, he has a very tiny lifespan. His body is deteriorating, and only Dr. Abel, who's now working for the Mishima Zaibatsu, can
Oh.
possibly save him. He enters the tournament to get closer to his creator. Julia invested money into G Corporation because they were the only company willing to help reforest her land. But after the Zaibatsu raided their labs, the reforestation data disappeared with them. She enters to get it back. And with that, the stage is set. It's a lot of setup, but this game has a lot of story. So first up, I have to assume that Paul Phoenix defeated Steve Fox. In Tekken 5, we get artwork depicting this, and there's no way that Paul could have lost. Steve might have faced off with Nina beforehand, but there's no real evidence to say that. But now it's time for another crazy reveal. Lei Wulon comes to Steve with information that he found in the Zaibatsu's mainframe.
Okay.
And this is bombshell stuff. Basically, Heihachi was trying to absorb Ogre's power, but he had to do a lot of experimenting to get results. And what makes better test subjects than children? But Heihachi doesn't abduct children. Oh, no. Instead, he takes advantage of the cryo chambers he's come back to and impregnates Nina Williams through in vitro fertilization. Oh yeah! Steve is Nina's lab baby.
Whoa!
And the kid was experimented on by creepo doctors like it's some kind of horror show. And you know, when you remember
Whoa,
that Anna was
wait, what the how?
sex, then children. But Heihachi doesn't abduct children. Oh, no. Instead, he takes advantage of the cryo chambers he's come back to and impregnates Nina Williams through in vitro fertilization.
What?
Oh yeah! Steve is Nina's lab baby.
I'm sorry, wait a minute. So you're saying while Nina was in the Cairo sleep, Heihachi did. Oh my god! And that Steve is whoa, bro. Steve is Nina's son.
And the kid was experimenting. Oh yeah! Steve is Nina's lab baby.
Wow.
And the kid was experimented on by creepo doctors like it's some
No freaking way! And then Nina had to go freaking Was she going to assassinate Steve or what? I forgot what that was.
some kind of horror show. And you know, when you remember that Anna was also in cryo sleep, it really makes you wonder if she's got a kid out there too.
No freaking
Good
way.
lord. When the Syndicate briefs Nina on her target, she finds this surprising and decides to give up on the mission. But she's not exactly broken up over this. She doesn't try to talk to Steve. Hell, she willingly works with Heihachi later, reinforcing her cold, detached nature.
Wow.
To her, it's just business, nothing personal. Afterwards, Lei Wulon would take down the Syndicate for good. King faces off with Marduk and absolutely destroys him.
Yeah.
But it's still not enough.
Shoot.
King follows Marduk into the hospital where he plans to end his life for good. But as he's about to deliver the killing blow, he notices the cage fighter's belongings on the table. And seeing that photo of Marduk's family made King realize that if he were to go through with this, he would be no better. It's a pretty good scene, as long as you can take the Jaguar part seriously. Now, Brian Fury ends up
Dang.
meeting with Dr. Abel, but unfortunately for the bad doctor, his ass gets punched so hard that his body makes a giant crack in the wall. Considering
Dang.
Brian's entire motivation for entering this tournament was to extend his lifespan, I'm not really sure why he did this. Brian loves being a
That's true.
cyborg. The
That's
guy
true.
would be dead otherwise.
Yeah.
So what gives?
Yeah.
Brian falls unconscious after this punch, but Yoshimitsu, oh yeah, Yoshi's in this game, ends up finding him.
Uh-huh.
He takes Brian to the Manji clan's headquarters, where the good Dr. Boskanovich tells him that he will absolutely help.
Dang.
Well, ain't that nice of him? I wonder how Brian will repay the favor. But it should be mentioned that Dr. Abel never comes back. He's not in Tekken 5, not in Tekken 6, and when he does get a mention in Tekken 7, it's in the past tense, referring to the late Doctor's legacy.
Oh.
He's absolutely dead, so I have to make assumptions.
Dang.
Aside from winning the tournament, Brian's ending is absolutely canon, so there's no reason to assume that he didn't destroy Abel.
Yeah.
Kinda surprising. I figured they would have kept that character around. For the 4th time in a row, Paul Phoenix faces off with Kuma. Well, technically the 2nd, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But wallowing in misery can't compare to training in the wilderness.
God.
Kuma does what his father couldn't and defeats Paul Phoenix.
No way!
At long last, right? I guess he's not that much of a joke character if he can beat the man who beat Ogre. Lee ends up facing off with Kazuya, but the Playboy is still no match for his stepbrother. He and Combat both suffer defeat.
Oh, he goes by Violet
with victory
now.
over
Okay.
Lee, Kaz is all set to face off with his son, Jin Kazama.
Okay.
But unfortunately, the kid doesn't show up and ends up disqualified from the tournament. And that's because Heihachi sicked the Tekken Force onto him, where they proceed to drug and capture the lad.
No way.
Thus, the final battle is a three-peat, as it's once again between
Oh my
Kazuya
God.
and Heihachi.
What's gonna happen
Interesting
now?
about this encounter. When you play as any of the non-Mishimas, Heihachi is typically the final boss. Now, when he's facing off with Kazuya, he wears his traditional black gi. But with anyone else, he always enters the arena in a fundoshi. After all, Heihachi is a warrior's warrior. He doesn't want any tricks, he doesn't need assistance, he wants to fight completely naked.
Yeah.
The only problem is that it's incredibly revealing. Heihachi's bare ass is staring the player right in the face. Look at that thing. The string is riding right up his ass
Oh,
crack.
Lord. Yeah, we
I
see
can
it.
practically see his taint.
Yeah, we see it.
I don't mean to
We
be
see it.
disrespectful to Japanese culture, but good lord. Am I a gamer or a proctologist?
Good lord.
So after a tough bout, believe it or not, Heihachi once again defeats Kazuya. I know, right? After that amazing opening, after all those years of wanting revenge,
Man, Kazuya, that fool shot your son, dude. And you gonna lose like that?
and the old man still pulls it off.
Shoot.
Heihachi is the official winner of the King of Iron.
Bro, he shot your son. He threw you into a ravine when you were a kid. And he threw you into a volcano?
Fist Tournament 4. But the old man's not done, and he tells Kaz that he can lead him to Jin. So the two travel deep into the Zaibatsu compound to a temple in the forest known as Hanmaru. There, Kazuya finds Jin tied up in chains, which couldn't be more perfect.
Oh.
The devil takes over Kazuya once again and explains that when Jun and Kaz got together, a part of himself went away into the body of Jin.
Oh.
Hence why he has the devil gene. But
Right.
now's the time to take that power back. Or so the devil thinks. Because the 20 years of research that Kazuya has done has helped teach him how to unify this power. Fighting from within, Kazuya eliminates the devil persona completely, incorporating it into his own being. There is no devil anymore, only Kazuya.
Kazuya.
Oh, sweet, he's a good guy now, right? Oh, don't be silly. Kaz may be in control, but he still wants the same thing. The power to conquer the world.
Are you serious?
So Jin and Kazuya battle each other for the first time ever.
Wow.
A devil gene clash between father and son. And in the end,
Oh.
Jin Kazama proves his strength by beating his old man.
Let's
That's
go.
when Heihachi takes advantage and picks a fight too.
Oh my
but
God.
this kid is so damn talented, he disposes both of the Mishimas
Ah!
at the exact same time.
Nice.
The chance to rid the world of this menace is finally here.
Oh, there go the wings. Mom. Mom. Oh my gosh.
You hear a lot of people.
Bruh.
Keeping
It's getting
up
good,
with
bro.
Joneses. I don't know about.
Jin flies away from Hanmaru, leaving his vengeance behind. His father, his grandfather, they get to live for another day. Well, at least one of them does.
This is Tekken 5. Here we go. Dang, it starts off just like
Jin
that.
leaves, the temple gets bombarded by jack robots belonging to the G Corporation. The company has betrayed Kazuya and is now looking to dispose of him as well as Heihachi.
Snap. They team up! They team up! They team up, bro!
The opening to Tekken 5 is one of the greatest that's ever existed.
Yes!
Just Kaz and Heihachi kicking all kinds of robot ass as the most badass tag team ever.
Yes!
For a while, anyway.
At least, aw.
Dick
Kazuya.
move, Kazuya.
Man, Kazuya.
Dude makes his getaway as the jacks pile on.
Whoa! Oh. That's the homie Raven.
Is dead.
Dang, Raven, okay.
Ugh, that's so badass.
Yeah, that was cool.
But yeah, folks, Heihachi Mishima is
He's
dead.
dead.
Super dead. Never coming back. Unless you immediately start playing as either Kazuya or Raven in this game.
Dang.
Because you'll be watching the cutscenes and, oh, never mind.
There he is! He's right there! I see him!
Heihachi is playable in Tekken 5, so the whole getting killed thing is kinda meaningless.
Yeah.
So like, the jacks blow up Hanmaru and Heihachi gets blasted from the site.
Oh, there he
Just
is.
launched across the entire forest, eventually landing in a grave in a nearby cemetery. He penetrates the dirt and just lies there, and lies there, and lies there.
Yo.
And 2 months later,
Yo.
Heihachi finally wakes
What?
up, completely fine, ready to bust some heads.
Just 2 months,
The
2 months
man
rest.
is unkillable. The guy was literally buried under dirt for months, and he didn't need to eat food or anything. I think
my
he might
God.
secretly be a Kryptonian.
Something.
But yeah, interesting thing about Tekken 5. According to Tekken 6, Heihachi only woke up after Tekken 5. His entire existence is non-canon because he was never there.
Oh.
Which is a shame, because he missed out on a family reunion. For you see, the Hanmaru Temple's explosion didn't just send Heihachi and Kazuya away, it also woke someone up. The dead man that was chained up in the basement, Jinpachi Mishima.
Dude.
Heihachi's dad is here, back from the dead.
Jinpachi!
I alluded to this
What?
earlier, but yes, Heihachi killed his father and stole the Mishima Zaibatsu from him.
Oh.
But it wasn't a quick thing. He didn't just shoot him or throw him into a volcano.
Right.
Instead, he chained him up in Hanmaru and made him lift a giant boulder
No
until he eventually
way.
starved to death. Seems like an especially horrible way to die.
Dang.
Bad father, bad grandpa,
Bad son.
terrible child.
Terrible child.
Good lord. So Jinpachi was dead until some thing took over his body and resurrected him. It's not the devil gene.
Oh.
It's just some evil force that's never really elaborated on. Seriously, beyond Lei Wulan's ending, no one talks about what's happened to him.
Wait, what?
Even the
Hold on, go back.
Seriously,
You fool, you cannot defeat me after giving in to the devil. Oh.
beyond Lei Wulan's ending, no one talks about what's happened to him. Even the Tekken wiki is just like, it's a demonic force of unknown origins.
Oh.
So,
Bruh.
yeah.
Lazy
The idea
writing.
is that this demon force is slowly
That's all right.
taking over his body, and when it gains full control, it's going to destroy the world.
Yeah.
So using his last ounce of humanity, Jinpachi takes control of the Mishima Zaibatsu. And 2 months later, he announces the King of Iron Fist Tournament 5.
Hey.
Because why call the military? Why kill yourself? Just get a bunch of martial artists to take you out. Dumb plot, but hey, that's the setup for Tekken 5. Once again, the prize is the Zaibatsu itself, which intrigues Jin Kazama, who is now suffering nightmares that trigger his devil gene. His alter ego is too dangerous, and Jin can't hold it off forever. He enters the tournament to find a solution. We got another batch of newbies to talk about, one of which you've already seen. Raven. There's not much to say about him. He's a special operatives agent working for a shadowy organization. He's entered the tournament to collect information. Nondescript, non-specific information. He is but one of many Ravens
The
that all
dark
serve
talent
under
of
one
death.
leader, the aptly named Master Raven.
Ooh.
All you need to know about Raven is that he's so cool he can stand on top of a fighter jet while it's flying at full speed. Hell, he can stand underneath one.
Underneath
Those are some
one.
magnetic boots, man. Next up is Feng Wei.
He's just got chakra. That's it. We all know, Raven. You got some chakra inside you. We know. We know.
Chinese Kempo fighter who wants to be the strongest man in the world. After getting into fights outside of his training, he gets scolded by his master. Naturally, Feng took that as an insult and murdered the man.
God.
He then spends his time seeking out a scroll known as the Secrets of Godfist, something he believes will give him ultimate power. He attacks every dojo he comes across looking for the thing until it becomes clear that it's in the clutches of the Mishima Zaibatsu.
Yep.
He enters the tournament to retrieve it. But his
Wow.
dojo attacks spur another competitor, and her name is Asuka Kazama. I want to repeat that. Asuka Kazama.
What?
This girl is a distant relative of Jun Kazama and the cousin of Jin Kazama.
Oh,
I have
what?
no idea how big the Kazama family is, but it's clearly far from gone. After Feng Wei attacks her family's dojo, the girl rushes into the tournament to get revenge. She apparently doesn't know that Jin is related to her, so I guess Jun didn't talk with the rest of her family. Next up is Lily de Rochefort, the daughter of a wealthy oil tycoon. One day she got abducted by criminals who wanted to ransom her for money. But Lily didn't go without a fight, and she managed to beat the crap out of her captor.
Nice.
The thrill of combat was intoxicating, so from that point onwards, she spent her time learning martial arts in secret so as not to upset her troubled father. One day she gets into a fight and defeats Forrest Law, and that's when he hands her the invitation to the King of Iron Fist Tournament 5.
Law.
She figures what could be better for her daddy than to obtain the Mishima Zaibatsu.
Bruh, they're doing Law kind of dirty, bro. All he fights for is money. He got defeated by this newbie named Lily. She just learned martial arts, bro. Oh, no.
You remember Roger, the boxing kangaroo?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out that he found a wife and the two had a baby. Roger Jr.
Hey,
And
okay.
everything was going hunky-dory until strangers came and kidnapped the guy.
Uh-oh.
So Roger Jr., inside the pouch of his mother, enters the tournament to save his father.
Wow.
But let's be honest, his mom is doing all the legwork.
Oh, wow.
I guess she was genetically altered by Dr. Boskanovich too. And also, isn't it kind of dangerous to keep your child on your person when you get into fist fights with some of the deadliest warriors known to man? Your
Yeah.
child could get fucking killed out
Yeah,
there.
you're right.
Bad kangaroo. Bad. Xiao Yu managed to find out the Mishima history after Iron Fist 4, and she feels really sad that Heihachi died. If only he hadn't thrown his son into a ravine.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, she meets a scientist who knows how to build a time machine. What? Who is this guy? How did Xiao Yu find him? Where the fuck do you learn to build something like that? Don't worry, Tekken doesn't get
Oh my
so crazy
gosh.
that characters travel back in time. At least, not yet.
Oh my
King
god.
may have been satisfied with defeating Marduk, but the guy was undefeated and he doesn't take his loss very well. The dude literally steals the late Armor King's Jaguar mask and demands a rematch.
No way.
King can't let this disrespect stand, so he accepts the challenge.
Oh my god.
Remember how Dr. Boscon
Oh, King lets you walk, bro. He let that heartbeat keep beating, bro. Dude, come on.
was going to save Brian Fury? Well, he does. He gives the guy a perpetual generator, and now he can live a long life again. Brian thanks the Doctor by going apeshit and destroying the Manji clan's laboratory.
Oh, come
He kills
on.
tons of people in the process, forcing Yoshimitsu to chase him into the tournament for retribution. After Lei Wulon disbanded the syndicate, Nina found herself out of a job. Lost, she decides to confide in the woman who claims to be her sister.
Oh, wow.
She calls up Anna for a meeting, but as soon as she sees her again, the memories come flooding back. Nina remembers everything, including how the Zaibatsu defeated her. Instantly, Nina starts trying to kill Anna, and the two battle for literal days.
Dang.
That's a lot of stamina. Eventually, the two get exhausted and agree to settle things at the tournament.
That bitch.
After Christie's grandfather finally gets out from prison, she and Eddie find that he's incredibly sick. It's after talking to a doctor that it's discovered he's terminally ill. Lacking the money needed to save his life, the only hope these two have is to win the tournament. After Kazuya was defeated during Iron Fist 2, Ganryu retired from sumo wrestling. But he still liked to keep track of Zaibatsu events, and that's how he comes across Julia Chang. Reminder, this guy was madly in love with Michelle, and now he's become infatuated with her daughter at the ripe old age of 55. Since Julia's still seeking Jeet Corporation's reforestation data, Ganryu figures retrieving it himself would be the key to winning her heart.
No.
But he's not the oldest competitor.
Ganryu, calm down, bro.
Because Jinpachi sent his best friend Wang Jinrei a letter inviting him to compete as well. And let's see, at this point in the story, Wang would be 105 years old? The dude was 82 back in Tekken 1?
Dang!
His bones must be as stable as graham crackers at this point. But hey, maybe he'll surprise me. And on that note, let's talk about the tournament.
Yeah.
So first up, Jin Kazama defeats Wang Jinrei.
Of course.
Okay, never mind. This is arguably disappointing because the thing we know most about Wang's backstory is that he was best friends with Jinpachi Mishima. The two have an incredibly close bond. If anyone deserved to take him down, it was Jinrei. But according to Tekken 6, he didn't even get to see the guy. Canon can often be anticlimactic. King and Marduk battle for the second time in a row, and once again, King emerges victorious.
Let's go.
Although this outcome changes things forever. Like an echo of the past, Marduk realizes that King is the real deal.
Let's
and rather
go,
than hold
King.
a grudge,
Okay.
he chooses to be his ally.
Let's go.
King and Marduk become best friends and also a formidable tag team. All that bad blood gone forever. Nina faces off with Anna and gains the victory.
That didn't satisfy me at all. I refuse to kill you.
Oh my god.
Paul Phoenix enters the tournament with new determination after losing to Kuma. And of course, because someone fucking hates Paul, he finds himself battling Kuma yet again.
Yep.
This time, Paul squeaks out a victory, but he is so exhausted from the encounter that he bows out of the tournament. Yoshimitsu clashes with Brian Fury and scores the win.
Makes sense.
Afterwards, the cyborg makes his escape, living to fight another day. Asuka meets with Lily for the first time and defeats her. But this would be the worst mistake of her life because she's made a lifetime rival for doing so. Lily forever obsessed with wanting to one-up the young Kazama. And that's all I got to say about Asuka, because the girl never ends up crossing paths with Feng Wei, the guy she wanted to fight.
Yeah.
She also never interacts with her cousin Jin, thus wasting a lot of potential the character could have had.
Yeah.
Since Feng doesn't win the tournament, eventually he just breaks into the Mishima Zaibatsu's vault and steals the scroll he was looking for. And instead of gaining ultimate power, he instead finds words of wisdom. He who destroys all other fighting styles and makes them his own shall become a warrior superior to all men. Well, golly, thanks for that enlightenment. That's the equivalent of saying, if you want to master something, you should practice at it until you get good. Riveting. Feng takes this advice, and his story hasn't budged since. Jin faces off with his rival Hwoarang, who was recently reunited with his master Beck after he finally woke up from his coma. And taking the new advice that Beck put onto him, Hwoarang gives it his all in the fight, and he actually wins!
Nice.
Yes, he defeats the badass hero of the last two games, putting him down and knocking him out.
Nice.
Holy shit! This is what I like to see. The Mishimas aren't so invincible. But while he lies unconscious, something else wakes up. Devil Jin. The devil form rises up, catching Hwoarang off guard, and just brutalizes the guy. Fucks him up good, to the point that he has to be sent to the hospital in critical condition. The judges have no reason to deny it, so Jin ultimately wins the fight and thus advances to the finals.
Nice.
Devil Jin is an actual character in the games. He is a separate fighter from Jin who uses the Mishima combat style that was in Tekken 3 and Tekken Tag. Because a lot of people didn't like that Jin fought so differently in Tekken 4. Also, it fills the quota that every fighting game ever has to meet, where the hero of the story has some dark alter ego that is actually playable. Revenant Liu Kang, Evil Ryu.
Yep.
It's just a thing, I don't know what to tell ya. Ganryu doesn't win the tournament, but he does sneak into the Mishima Zaibatsu labs and actually finds Julia's reforestation data.
Oh, wow.
He meets with her to deliver the goods. Dude, you just had to put the data disk on your sweaty, smelly dick, didn't you? Good God.
I can't thank you enough. With this, I'll be able to bring back the forest.
No, それはそれとして、実はでごわすな。好きになってしまったでごわす。
She gone. Yeah.
Oh, Ganryu. He did a great
Oh my
thing
God.
for the wrong reason. Don't think she'll be interested anytime soon. However, this is a great day for Julia because getting that research back allows her to actually grow a little seedling, thus making it possible to reforest her land.
Wow.
The thing she's always wanted, now back on track.
Wow, okay.
In another laboratory, one abandoned by Dr. Boskanovich, Roger Jr. goes looking for any kind of trace of his dad.
Yeah.
And well...
Hey! Yo! So that's not what it looks like. It's not what it looks like. Oh! Oh, man. What happened to the dinosaur?
Yeah, Roger is a terrible father and husband. He wasn't abducted at all. Just enjoying a life of luxury and cheating on his wife. He's been smooching all kinds of lady kangaroos while his family was struggling financially.
Dang.
What a dick! What I find amusing about all this is that Roger Jr. ends up running into Alex,
Oh,
Roger's
there we go.
dinosaur rival. After kicking his ass in a very comical way, he brings the guy into his home where Alex hits it off with Roger's wife.
Oh.
The dinosaur is now a beloved father figure within the kangaroo family.
Oh my God, wow.
All while Roger realizes what a terrible mistake he's made.
Yeah.
Aw. The fact that this goofy shit is canon warms my cold, dead heart. What else
amazing.
happens? Well, Kazuya does participate in the tournament, but he doesn't seem to stick around for long. Eventually, he runs into one of his old bodyguards, the returning Bruce Irvin, who's alive and well. And then the two just leave. Kazuya may have lost to Jin, but they never say that's what's happened. And even in Jin's story mode, there's never a mandatory battle between the two. The only thing Tekken 6 and 7 likes to say is that Kazuya eventually gets revenge on the corporate bigwigs. There is more to it than that, but first, I gotta cover the finale. Jin Kazama is once again unstoppable, and he comes face to face with the great-grandfather he's never met before.
Oh, wow.
And the old man isn't just a master martial artist, he's also grown a goddamn demon mouth on his stomach that shoots unblockable fireballs.
Dang.
俺の手で立つ。貴様にそれができるのか。このわしを倒す資格があるのか。
In the middle of a whirlwind tornado, Jin battles his great-granddad with everything he's got. And once again...
Dang, that looked like the stage on Tekken 8 from the trailer.
The young Kazama ekes out a victory, destroying Jinpachi for good.
Oh, man.
But this presents an interesting ending to Tekken 5. Instead of running off as Devil Jin, he stays put and inherits the Mishima Zaibatsu.
Oh.
All those Yakuza, the Tekken Force, the entire conglomerate.
Dang, he took
all
it.
belongs to the most noble and heroic member of the Mishima family. And it makes you wonder, now that Jin has all of this power, what's he gonna do? It?
World domination.
So the story begins with Jin Kazama starting World War III.
Whoa,
Oh yes,
what?
I'm Kazama starting World War. So the story begins with Jin Kazama starting World War III.
Oh my God.
Oh yes, I'm serious.
Really, Jin?
The first thing that Jin does when he gains control is start claiming oil refineries, space stations, anything that can give the Zaibatsu power.
Wow.
He expands the military and sends the Tekken Force to every corner of the planet just to tear shit up and conquer
He
everything.
looked cold in that
There
leather
doesn't
jacket
seem to be
though.
any rhyme or
Or the
reason
trench
to
coat.
it. He just attacks civilians because he can. The Mishima Zaibatsu is so strong and has so much power that they somehow managed to conquer the United Nations.
Oh.
I'm no geopolitical expert, but that sounds fucking impossible.
Yeah.
The governments of the world all just sit there, impotent to combat this threat.
Dang.
But one giant organization is leading the charge, forming the biggest resistance to the Zaibatsu's evil. And that organization is G Corporation.
G-Corp.
See, after killing all of the executives that betrayed him, Kazuya became the new CEO of the company.
Okay.
And I thought it was just a small biotech firm, but apparently it's expanded quite a bit. Now G-Corp has its own private military with thousands of soldiers and tanks.
Wow.
It's the face of multimedia entertainment, sponsoring such J-pop idols as Lucky Chloe.
Oh, wow.
Who, of course, is a martial artist and playable character.
Uh-huh.
The G Corporation is using its mad science to create super soldiers in the form of roided out Hulk men who scream like fucking monsters.
God.
And even if they didn't have those, they still have the Jack units because Jane is developing them for the company.
Oh.
And why not? They're the only ones taking the fight to that evil dictator, Jin Kazama.
For real.
Seriously, as far as the public is concerned, Kazuya is nothing but a saint, a hero who's trying to save the world. If they only knew. Kazuya's offered a substantial bounty to anyone who can bring him Jin Kazama's head.
Oh.
And as a response to this, the Zaibatsu leader decides to announce the King of Iron Fist Tournament 6.
Yo!
Which I'm not really sure if now's the time for martial artists to be competing in tests of strength. But I gotta take a second to acknowledge how the narrative changed from this point onwards. It's the first high-definition Tekken game, the first one to have online play. And it's also the first one to have a proper story mode. Previously, these games have only been experienced one character at a time, fighting 8 or 9 matches and taking any cutscene you can get. But Tekken 6 has a full-blown scenario campaign that focuses on 2 new characters, Lars Alexanderson and Alyssa Boskanovich.
Hey.
The story follows them the entire way through as you battle in over 38 stages, each filled with dozens of goons and special bosses.
Dang.
It's completely canon, its events referenced in Tekken 7, which is fine, but the King of Iron Fist Tournament 6 goes completely ignored.
Oh.
The characters don't talk like they're preparing for it, they don't talk like it just happened.
Okay.
Lars and Alyssa never enter any competition, they just headed to skirmishes against the Zaibatsu and G-Corp. The side characters only seeming to be there so that you have a boss to fight. And when we get to Tekken 7, instead of having prologues that advance each fighter's story, the player is only briefed on one particular fight that the character finds themselves in. Unless you're a DLC character, in which case you don't even get that. Tekken 6 and 7 are far more interested in what's going on with the war and the Mishimas. I don't have any tournament details anymore because there aren't
any.
So yeah. Lars Alexanderson used to be the head of the Tekken Force. Apparently the dude's always been there behind the scenes, we just never got acquainted with him.
Okay.
But when Jin Kazama starts using the Zaibatsu to destroy the world, Lars takes a step back and asks himself, wait a minute, are we the baddies? And so he breaks off, managing to take over 50% of the Tekken Force with him.
Nice.
God damn! These turncoat Tekkens would wear new flags and call themselves Yggdrasil. It's at this point that Eddie Gordo approaches Jin for help regarding his capoeira master. See, he didn't win the last tournament, which means he still doesn't have the money to pay for his medical bills. Jin agrees to help, but only if Eddie fills the vacant spot left behind by Lars. And so Eddie Gordo becomes the leader of the Tekken Force, participating in a war he wanted nothing to do with. He shares an advisory role with Nina Williams, who acts as Jin Kazama's second-in-command. In fact, Nina joining the Zaibatsu encourages her sister Anna to join G Corporation along with Bruce Irvin.
Dang.
Quite the stables we got here. Anyway, the plot really kicks off when
So many
Yggdrasil
rivalries.
goes on a mission to take over one of the Zaibatsu's laboratories. Lars leads his squad inside, kicking all kinds of ass, when eventually they come across a control room with some kind of cryo chamber.
Okay.
資料にあったボスコノビッチの娘に似ているが
博士の娘はすでに死亡していたはずです
Yeah, do you remember that plot point from Tekken 3? Of course
Wow.
you don't. During this invasion, Yggdrasil gets surprised when G Corporation also shows up, flooding the place with Jack robots. There's a scuffle and an explosion which knocks Lars out and conveniently gives him amnesia. It's at this point that he accidentally opens the cryo chamber, unleashing Alyssa Boskanovich, who is equipped with jet
she's
boosters,
cold.
chainsaw arms, and also has the ability to take off her own head
Load up.
and use it as an explosive.
Nice.
She has an infinite supply of heads, thanks to nanomachines.
Nice.
This character is so anime and over the top that even for some Tekken fans, it was too much. Oh, I can handle the devil gene. I can handle bears who know kung fu. But kawaii anime robot girls who tear shit up with chainsaws? You've gone too far, Tekken. I'm more shocked about what kind of guy Dr. Boskanovich is. The old man lost his daughter to disease and then completely recreated her as a fighting robot.
Right.
That's really weird, man. Also strange, Dr. Boskanovich never appears in either Tekken 6 or Tekken 7. His robo-daughter plays such a significant role in the story, and he just goes bye-bye. Where is he? I don't think he's dead. He shows up for the tag games trying to analyze male pattern baldness on the Mishimas. No, really. Which apparently is negated by the devil gene. No, really. But he himself is just gone now. The way that stories are told in Tekken is just so bizarre sometimes. Anyway, Lars and Alyssa escape the base, and since they both don't know what's going on, they decide to go on a journey for answers. One which has them fighting street thugs, the Tekken Force, robots, bear cubs, kangaroos, a marching parade, sumo wrestlers, and even goddamn demons. There's so little narrative structure to the campaign that I have no idea why they're in the places that they are. What good is finding Armor King gonna do? Oh yeah, Armor King's alive.
Bro, what? Oh,
see, after King and Marduk made up and became friends, someone ambushed the Valetudo fighter in the locker room. And he looks exactly like Armor King. But later, King is reminiscing about his old master when he makes a shocking discovery.
There was two of them.
I'm sorry, but that Jaguar mask makes everything funny. Turns out this new Armor King is the brother of the old one. Why the hell did he hide that?
No way.
Armor King didn't think it was worth mentioning that he was in a tag team with his brother? Whatever. Armor King 2 wants revenge on Marduk, and King is caught in the middle. Anyway, eventually Lars ends up running into Togu, one of his comrades in Yggdrasil. Hearing that the guy has amnesia, he tells him that beforehand he was looking forward to meeting Heihachi Mishima, and perhaps seeking him out will jog his memory. Worth mentioning that Lars is a pretty chill guy. He values his squad, he knows how to joke around, the guy isn't an edgelord nor a colossal douchebag. Just keep that in mind as we get to the twist. Lars and Alyssa do indeed seek out Heihachi, who this whole entire time has been chilling in his estate. After a failed assassination attempt by the Tekken Force, he's just been plotting and scheming over how to get the Zaibatsu back. Upon seeing Heihachi, something triggers in Lars's head. His memory comes back completely, reminding him of his true heritage.
この血を引く以上、お前のように衰えていくことは避けられないということか。
何？
お前が北欧で指揮した作戦を覚えているか？
まさかお前が？
Yes, Lars is actually a Mishima,
No way.
a bastard child from one of Heihachi's youthful indiscretions. Because he can't have the hero of the story be anything but. With his memory returned, Lars aims to kill the man who abandoned his mother.
What's what I do? Ah, he headbutted. Oh my god. Oh, he caught it. Dang.
Once again, unkillable. Lars basically goes, alright, fuck it, I got more important things to do. His new goal for the game is to take down Jin Kazama and end the war. This involves
your mom,
breaking into
though?
the
I wanna know who your
Zaibatsu
mom is.
headquarters, taking down the Tekken Force, Eddie Gordo, Nina Williams, even a giant demon robot named Nancy.
Whoa.
Yes, Nancy. And of all the times I've gone through Tekken 6's arcade mode, I have never beaten this damn thing. It kicks you to the next match as soon as you lose, so it takes forever just to retry. Screw you, Nancy. But eventually Lars ends up riding the elevator into Jin's throne room, where the guy has commissioned a comically evil statue of his devil gauntlet clutching the
that's
world.
kinda cool.
Just a tad on the nose.
Yeah, that's kind of
Before
sick,
Lars
actually.
can take this guy out, though, Jin activates his secret weapon.
アリサ、限定モード解除。アリサ。
Finding her in a Mishima laboratory was no coincidence.
Right.
Dr. Boskanovich created her to serve as Jin's bodyguard.
No way.
And because he's the head honcho, she has to obey anything he commands. No, Alyssa, please! This isn't you! Think of all the good times we had! Anyway, Jin makes his escape and heads to Egypt, to a special ruin that was hidden away by magic until the Zaibatsu started destroying the world. This place houses a very nasty creature known as Azazel, the Rectifier. And apparently it's waking up, creating volcanoes and shit in the Middle East. Lars is joined by Raven and proceeds deep inside, where he encounters the G Corporation as well. He and Kazuya have a scuffle.
Oh, Kazuya was there too. Oh, G Corp, yeah, G Corp, okay.
Oh yeah, apparently all the electricity that flies off of Heihachi and Kazuya, that's a Mishima bloodline thing. I guess they descended from the thunder god Raiden. Lars reaches the center of the ruins and comes face to face with Azazel, a giant Anubis monster and by far the cheapest fucking boss in any Tekken game ever. I swear, even on easy mode, this asshole is ridiculously cheap. I hate him with the fury of 1,000 suns.
Yeah.
Luckily, in Scenario Campaign, you have buffed stats, and you can sneak behind him while he's distracted by Raven.
Okay.
Double teaming this prick is so damn satisfying. Lars defeats the creature, but he still has one target left. Jin Kazama.
Ooh.
But not before being forced to battle his former friend.
Oh no.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
The final battle. Lars,
he's
Jin, and a squadron of Tekken Force goons who love to...
You're a dead man. He hit... Lars hit him with that look that when Hinata... When Naruto came through fighting Pain, and then Hinata came through, and then she got stabbed by Pain's the thing, and Naruto was like, boom,
to snipe me from far away. Yay! But eventually Lars pulls off the victory. And it's now, at the end, where we finally get an explanation as to why Jin did all this.
Okay.
So remember the nightmares he was having in Tekken 5?
Yes.
He was being communicated to by Azazel, the Rectifier. And the Beast tells Jin that the Devil Gene is his creation, that Azazel is the source.
No way.
And when human misery gets so strong all over the world, it's going to return and destroy everyone. Only someone with the Devil Gene can stop him. But what if Azazel returns long after Jin and Kazuya are dead? Who will save the world then? So using the power of the Zaibatsu, Jin single-handedly attacks everything and everyone just so Azazel would wake up earlier.
Oh.
And sure enough, Lars did not actually defeat the beast. It comes out of the temple to bring about Armageddon.
No way!
But Jin rushes towards it, punches a hole through its chest, and falls with it into a ravine. The creature killed for good.
It's not for me to judge if he was right or wrong. Maybe you're such a saint. You think you can.
Oh, fuck off, lady. Yes, Jin technically saved the world, but he killed so many innocent people to get us there. The world will never be the same.
Right.
I remember a lot of people were put off by the decision to turn Jin heel, and it's completely changed the character. Now he's an edgy sad boy who just wants to die, to get his comeuppance for all the evil that he's done.
Yeah.
Tekken and its morality, they just didn't want everything to be so cut and dry. Lars leaves Alyssa with Lee Chaolan to be restored to normal, and Raven ends up finding Jin after everything's all said and done. And with that, we only have one more game to talk about. So as of August 2020...
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we stop. An hour and 34. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna make this a two-parter. Okay. So this is where we're at. Okay. Jin is in the desert. Raven just picked him up. Kazuya Or wait, what happened to Kazuya? Lars defeated Kazuya. So is Kazuya still in the desert too? Shoot, I forgot. And then Heihachi's chilling at home. Man. But the whole story with Nina and Steve, and then there was like the King and the Armor King story. Those stories were pretty freaking good too. Tekken. Oh, I can't wait for Tekken 8, bro. Oh my god, I can't even wait to play Tekken 7 tomorrow. Shoot, I want to play tomorrow and upload it for you guys. Let's go. Tekken Train is on. It is 3:48 in the AM. I'm about to knock out. Okay? Please leave a like on this video if you haven't. And then comment down below who did you main in Tekken 7 if you ever played Tekken 7. Or if you were to play Tekken 7, who do you think you would main? Just out of any of the characters that you saw. Even if they weren't, even if they aren't in Tekken 7, just comment a character who you would want to main, okay? That we saw from this video. Alright. Once again, it is spelled Preste and not Owen. You know how it is. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. Alright, here we go. Tekken 7 tomorrow. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. For real. I promise. 8. Let's go. Okay, bye.